Hope y'all doing well, and let's begin. Which organizational level is smaller than tissue? Is it A, organ system, B, organ, C, organism, or D, cell? So which one is smaller? It'd be cell. That's one that's the next, that's directly smaller than tissue. It starts out with like subatomic particles, and then you get to molecules, then you go into organelles and cell, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And that's the whole levels of the organizational structure. The ability of the body to maintain a stable internal environment is called blank. This often involves negative feedback. Is it A, metabolism, B, homeostasis, C, integration, or D, regulation? So which one of those maintains an environment? It's homeostasis. Like if your body gets too hot, you sweat more. If you get too cold, on the other hand, then that would make you start to shake and shiver to help you maintain your temperature, for example. Which term means toward the midline of the body in anatomic position? Is it A, lateral, B, distal, C, medial, or D, inferior? So which of those means to the midline of the body? It'd be medial. Medial is to the midline of the body, and the opposite of that would be lateral. That's further away from the midline of the body, like your shoulder is lateral to your nose, for example. It's more to the outside of your body, the lateral side. The diaphragm separates which two major cavities? Is it A, thoracic and abdominal, B, abdominal and pelvic, C, cranial and spinal, or D, thoracic and pelvic? So what does the diaphragm separate for you? It's going to separate the thoracic cavity from the abdominal cavity. The thoracic cavity is what's going to hold your lungs and your heart, and the abdominal cavity would hold your stomach, your intestines, etc. The study of function is blank. Is it A, anatomy, B, histology, C, biology, or D, physiology? So which of the following is the study of function? It's going to be physiology. So that's just how does the body work? How do cells work? Those type of things. That's the whole study of physiology. Like how do your kidneys work, etc. The powerhouse organelle of a cell that makes a lot of ATP is blank. Is it A, nucleus, B, Golgi apparatus, C, mitochondria, or D, ribosomes? So which of the many organelles makes a lot of energy for the body? It's going to be mitochondria. They will help to break down components in the Krebs cycle and electron transport chain to make lots of ATP for you to fuel actions for the body. Which cellular process requires ATP? Is it A, primary active transport, B, osmosis, C, diffusion, or D, filtration? So which of those needs fuel through ATP? It's going to be primary active transport. This commonly will force ions to grow across cell membranes in a direction that they don't want to go in. So it's basically kind of like the sodium-potassium pump. That's an example of it, and that's common on neuron membranes and muscle cell membranes. Which tissue type covers body surfaces and linings? Is it A, muscular, B, epithelial, C, nervous, or D, connective? So which one is on coverings and linings, like your skin? That'd be epithelial tissue. That fits that category. If you know of anybody that could benefit from watching this video, whether it be in your class or a different class or something, please share it with them. I'm trying to get the channel to grow. Thank you. I really, really appreciate your help. All right. Which connective tissue type stores fat? Is it A, adipose, B, areolar, C, cartilage, or D, dense regular? So which of the following stores fat? It's going to be adipose tissue. Adipose tissue is a great form of energy, but it's a slow form of energy. It takes a long time for your body to get energy from adipose tissue. Red blood cells are produced in blank. Is it A, red bone marrow, B, bone matrix, C, yellow bone marrow, or D, periosteum? So which of those is most important to make red blood cells? It's going to be red bone marrow. So the red bone marrow, it has stem cells in it, and those can be used to make platelets, various white blood cell types, and red blood cells. The functional unit of a muscle fiber is the blank. Is it A, osteon, B, nephron, C, myofibril, or D, sarcomere? So what is the functional contractile unit of a muscle cell? It's a sarcomere. Sarcomeres go from Z line to Z line, and sarcomeres have a lot of myosin, which is the thick filament, and actin, which is the thin filament in them. Which type of muscle is voluntary? Is it A, smooth, B, skeletal, C, cardiac, or D, reticular? So which one of those is under your control, voluntary? Skeletal muscle. Skeletal muscle would be like your bicep, your tricep, your gluteal muscles, etc. You could choose to activate them when you go for a walk or whatever you do. A fracture that pierces the skin is called blank. Is it A, spiral, B, green stick, C, compound, or D, simple? So which of these categories is a fracture that pierces the skin? It's going to be a compound fracture. So that's going to be the one that will pierce the skin. A spiral fracture forms when bones are twisted, like commonly like child abuse type situations, where they twist the bone, it could make it fracture in that kind of a pattern. Bone cells that break down bone are called blank. Is it A, osteoblasts, B, chondrocytes, C, osteocytes, or D, osteoclasts? So which of the following would be used to break down bone? It'd be osteoclasts. These are cells that break down your bone, and they're going to increase blood calcium levels, and calcium is important in the bloodstream to help you clot your blood if you hurt yourself. Which mineral is most abundant in bone? Is it A, calcium, B, chloride, C, sodium, or D, iron? So out of those, which one is most important in bone? It's going to be calcium. Bone is really rich in calcium and phosphate, and it helps to add strength to bone. But bone will release calcium to the bloodstream if you need it to help clot your blood or to help muscle cells have the ability to contract. They need calcium to contract. The sliding filament theory involves which of the following? Is it A, ATP and albumin, B, thrombin and fibrin, C, collagen fibers, or D, actin and myosin? So which of those is most important for contraction? Actin and myosin. Actin and myosin, they're found in sarcomeres. Actin is the thin filament. Myosin is the thick filament. And when you contract a sarcomere, it will shrink, and the muscle cell gets smaller overall as multiple sarcomeres within its myofibrils contract. Smooth muscle is found in blank. Is it A, biceps brachii, B, heart, C, intestines, or D, diaphragm? So where do you find smooth muscle? Where do you find smooth muscle? You find it in the intestines, like in the wall of the intestines, like layer 3 of the intestines is called the muscularis externa and has lots of smooth muscle in the wall to contract as you process your food. The sternum is classified as a blank. Is it A, flat bone, B, long bone, C, irregular bone, or D, short bone? So what is the sternum classified as? It's a flat bone. It's the top of the sternum is called the manubrium, the mid part of it is called the body, and the lowest part of it is called the xiphoid process. The bone that forms the forehead is the blank. Is it A, temporal, B, ethmoid, C, parietal, or D, frontal? So which of those is going to contribute the most to the forehead? It's going to be the frontal bone. So the frontal bone is in the forehead region, just right over the frontal lobe of the brain. Please check out the description of the video on different ways to support the channel and those type of things. Thank you all so much. I appreciate your help in all of this. The knee is an example of a blank. Is it A, ball and socket joint, B, hinge joint, C, pivot joint, or D, saddle joint? So what do you consider the knee, where you can extend and flex? The knee is a hinge joint. It's very similar to the joints of your fingers and toes, which are called interphalangeal joints. Those also can flex and extend just like the knee can. So that's an example of a hinge joint. The sympathetic nervous system is responsible for blank. Is it A, circadian rhythm, B, rest and digest, C, fight or flight, or D, memory formation? So what does your sympathetic system do for you? How does it help you? It's known as your fight or flight system. It's also sometimes called the fight or fright system, like you're afraid, and it's going to make your heart beat faster, your air pathways open up wider, and you'll sweat more. The part of the central nervous system most involved in coordinating balance is the blank. Is it A, pons, B, cerebral aqueduct, C, midbrain, or D, cerebellum? So which of those helps you the most with being like a gymnast? It'd be the cerebellum. The center part of the cerebellum is called the vermis, and it's heavily active in helping with balance and coordination. And the cerebellum is also good at helping you with fast motions as far as coordination goes. The junction between two neurons is the blank. Is it A, axon, B, synapse, C, dendrite, or D, soma? So what is it called? The connection between two neurons. It's a synapse. You'll have an axon terminal on one, and it's going to release a neurotransmitter to the next neuron, and typically that'll land on its dendrites, and either it'll excite it or suppress it. Which lobe of the brain is most responsible for processing vision, like identifying colors and basic shapes? Is it A, occipital, B, parietal, C, temporal, or D, frontal? So which one is most involved in understanding shapes, lines, colors? The occipital lobe. The occipital lobe, it has recordings of lots of things you've seen throughout your life, like triangles, squares, shapes. And when you see new objects, it'll try to match them against things you've seen before for identification of basic shapes. The spinal cord ends at approximately what vertebral level? Is it A, C5, B, T12, C, S1, or D, lumbar 2? So which of those is the end of the spinal cord? It's going to be lumbar 2. So after that, the spinal cord is going to form what's called the conus medullaris, and then a bunch of rootlets that go down inferiorly, and that's called the cauda equina. Platelets are most involved in blank. Is it A, oxygen transport, B, digestion, C, clotting, or D, immunity? So what is the purpose of platelets for you? They're involved in clotting. Platelets are also known as thrombocytes. So again, platelet and thrombocyte means the same thing. Their job is to help you clot your blood if you suffer an injury. Which type of blood vessel exchanges nutrients and gases? Is it A, arteries, B, capillaries, C, veins, or D, arterioles? So which one is most involved in exchanging nutrients with cells of your body? It's the capillary beds. When you leave the heart, you leave into arteries, then arteries eventually go into capillary beds, and then those go into veins, and that comes back to the heart. But the capillaries help you exchange gas and nutrients the most. And arterioles are just like small arteries. The pulmonary veins carry blank blood back to the heart normally under resting conditions. Is it A, 98% oxygenated, B, 75% oxygenated, C, 45% oxygenated, or D, 27% oxygenated? So the pulmonary veins, what kind of blood do they carry? Does it have a lot or a little oxygen? It's a lot. The pulmonary veins are sending blood from the lungs back to the heart with a lot of oxygen on it. It's almost 100%. It hovers near 98 for a healthy person. The valve between the left atrium and left ventricle is the blank. Is it A, pulmonary semilunar valve, B, aortic semilunar valve, C, mitral valve, or D, tricuspid valve? So what do you call the valve on the left side of your heart in that area? It's the mitral valve. The mitral valve is also known as the bicuspid valve. It has two names. They're synonyms. So mitral valve means the same thing as bicuspid valve. The liquid portion of your blood is called blank. Is it A, chyme, B, lymph, C, plasma, or D, cytosol? So what do you call the liquid portion of the blood? Liquid portion of the blood. It's going to be the plasma. And plasma has gases in it, nutrients in it like glucose, amino acids, lipids. It's got hormones floating in it, ions, lots of stuff. Which structure contains the vocal cords? Is it A, larynx, B, pharynx, C, bronchi, or D, alveoli? So which of those has the vocal cords for a person? It's going to be the larynx. And for males, they release testosterone, and it makes the vocal cords thicken and become looser, and it gives a male a deeper voice because of that. During inhalation, the diaphragm blank. Does it A, relax and move upward, B, contract and move upward, C, contract and move downward, or D, relax and move downward? So what does the diaphragm do when you breathe in? Its action. It's going to contract and move downward. When it does so, it's going to pull the lungs down, and that's going to create a suction effect that pulls air into the lungs as you pull them downwards. The respiratory center that acts as a pacemaker for breathing is located in the blank. Is it A, cerebellum, B, medulla oblongata, C, occipital lobe, or D, midbrain? So which of the following helps you control your breathing rate, basically? It's going to be the medulla oblongata. That's going to help you to control your heart rate, how constricted your body-wide blood vessels are, and your breathing rate. It's in charge of lots of default important things of your body. Oxygen binds to blank inside red blood cells. Is it A, pepsin, B, fibrin, C, albumin, or D, hemoglobin? So what does oxygen bind to inside of red blood cells? Hemoglobin. Hemoglobin will have oxygen bound to it, and the blood's going to go through your body, and then when it goes by muscle cells, it will throw the oxygen from the hemoglobin into the muscle, into myoglobin, and then that will hold it in the muscle cell for a little bit, and then throw that to the mitochondria, and then mitochondria will help you make ATP. The right lung has blank. Is it A, 1 lobe, B, 2 lobes, C, 3 lobes, or D, 4 lobes? So how many lobes does your right lung have? It's going to be 3 lobes. The right lung has 3 lobes. The left lung has 2 lobes. The left lung is a little smaller than the right lung because some of its space is occupied by the heart. The heart's on the left side of your chest. Which organ stores bile and releases it in response to the hormone cholecystokinin? Is it A, spleen, B, gallbladder, C, pancreas, or D, appendix? So which of these helps you to store bile, which breaks down fat? The gallbladder. So again, the liver makes the bile, but it actually gets stored in the gallbladder. And then when you need to, you squeeze that and put it into the small intestine to break down your fat into smaller and smaller units. The snake-like muscle contractions that move food in the small intestine further along are called blank. Is it A, peristalsis, B, reflux, C, churning, or D, mass movements? So what are the snake-like contractions of the intestines? It's going to be peristalsis. So you just send the food little by little by little along this long tube of your intestines, and then eventually you send it into the large intestine afterwards. The stomach secretes blank into its lumen to kill pathogens and activate pepsinogen into pepsin. So what does it secrete? Is it A, amylase, B, bicarbonate ions, C, hydrochloric acid, or D, nuclease? So which one of those is most destructive? It's going to be hydrochloric acid. The cells that do this are called parietal cells. They're going to secrete hydrochloric acid in the stomach, and that will break down your food partly and destroy like bacteria and parasites and other things to a degree. The pancreas performs which function to the greatest degree? Is it A, blood filtration, B, regulate sleep-wake cycle, C, temperature regulation, or D, enzyme secretion? So which of the following does the pancreas control the most? Enzyme secretion. The pancreas will push enzymes into your small intestine at your duodenum to help you break down your food into simpler and simpler particles. That way you can absorb the nutrients. Most absorption of nutrients from food occurs in the blank. Is it A, stomach, B, large intestine, C, small intestine, or D, rectum? So which of those helps you absorb nutrients the greatest to the most? Small intestine. The small intestine is going to help you absorb amino acids, glucose, carbs, different lipids, all sorts of stuff. And it's really great at absorbing water as well. The hormone that increases water reabsorption at portions of the kidney tubules is blank. Is it A, insulin, B, calcitonin, C, estrogen, or D, vasopressin? So which one is going to make you bring water back into your body at your kidneys? It's vasopressin. The other name for vasopressin is antidiuretic hormone. So vasopressin and antidiuretic hormone mean the exact same thing. The outer region of the kidneys is the blank. Is it A, cortex, B, medulla, C, pyramid, or D, pelvis? So what do you call the outer peripheral part of the kidneys? It's the cortex. So that's the outer little edge of the kidney. You have lots of glomeruli there, and that's where you're going to help to filter the plasma of your blood to make filtrate, which turns into urine. The pH of urine is normally blank. Is it A10, B6, C14, or D2? So what is the normal pH of urine, the average pH? That's going to be a pH of 6. Now, your urine can be a little bit more alkaline or a little bit more acidic, but normally it's near a pH of 6. If you know of anybody that could benefit from watching this video that's studying for this test, please share it. Thank you all so much. I appreciate your help in all this. Okay, which organ excretes urea to the greatest degree? Is it A, liver, B, lungs, C, kidneys, or D, skin? So which of the following secrete urea to the greatest degree? That's going to be the kidneys. And ultimately, this is going to contribute to portions of the fluid for its name, urine. So it's going to contribute to that. It'll be mostly water, but it'll have urea and other things floating in it. Aldosterone increases reabsorption of blank at the kidney tubules back into your body. Is it A, sodium ions, B, potassium ions, C, calcium ions, or D, glucose? So what is this going to help you to reabsorb? What is it going to help you with there? Sodium ions. And you're going to bring sodium ions back into your bloodstream. Water will follow that, and that'll make your blood pressure increase. You release aldosterone when you have low blood pressure, and it tries to help your blood pressure increase and go back up. Fertilization typically occurs in the blank. Is it A, uterus, B, ovary, C, cervix, or D, fallopian tube? So where do you have fertilization occurring? Where does it happen for a female? The fallopian tubes. Specifically, it most likely is going to happen in the area called the ampulla of the fallopian tube. It's an enlargement. It's called the ampulla of the fallopian tube. Oxytocin stimulates blank. Is it A, heart rate, B, thrombosis, C, milk letdown, or D, digestion? So what does oxytocin stimulate the most for a person? The milk letdown reflex. This will help to let milk out of the breast for a baby that's suckling on the mother's nipple. Prolactin makes milk, but oxytocin lets it out of the nipple. Estrogen is primarily produced in the blank. Is it A, adrenal cortex, B, ovaries, C, hypothalamus, or D, uterus? So where is estrogen made to the greatest degree? It's made from the ovaries. Estrogen and progesterone are both made at the ovaries, and this is going to help support female secondary sexual characteristics. The adrenal glands are located blank. Is it A, on top of the kidneys, B, behind the stomach, C, in the brain, or D, in the front of the liver? So where would you find the adrenal glands for a person? It's going to be found on top of the kidneys. You have two adrenal glands, one on the left, one on the right. They have an outer part called the cortex and a middle part called the medulla, where you release epinephrine and norepinephrine from the medulla. Non-motile sperm mature and develop the ability to swim in the blank. Is it A, testes, B, prostate, C, epididymis, or D, urethra? So where do non-motile sperm develop the ability to become better swimmers? It's going to be at the epididymis. That's where they become better swimmers. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope this helps. I've got a couple more coming after this. There's going to be 4 more under this topic, and then I'm going to have a few under biology, chemistry, and some other different sections. Thank you.